Buenos noches, amigos. Welcome to another episode of Not Another Socks podcast. We're going through a bit of our fantasy edition. Tonight, I have a distinguished guest, Senor Bagdad, as he would be named if you're watching this on YouTube, or Jeremy if you're listening to this. But Senor Bagdad, thank you for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I thought it was, Cinco de Mayo, Senor Bagdad. Let's get it going, man. I'm ready.
Where does Bagdad come from? What was the origin of that?
It's a great question. And I will give all my credit to Michael Emond, who's also a producer for Section 10. He is the king. He also my co-coach. He is the king of nicknames. So it kind of like has evolved over time. It was originally Bagz, and then I became a father this past January. So Bagdad.
Congrats.
Great combo there. Thank you so much. So I liked it. Everyone liked it. It flows a little bit. So.
I thought at first it was bag like bags, like money bags.
100%.
So like the father of money. You're like, yeah, no, it's that one too, for sure.
You know what? That's what I should have said. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. Never mind. It's the money. It's the money.
It's the money. It's the Mets, baby. It's the Mets. So let's go Mets.
Exactly.
It is an honor to have you on. For listeners that somehow are not aware of your podcast, Jeremy or Senor Bagdad is a member of Section 10 with Mike Emond, who is the producer over there currently. He also beat me in fantasy, mainly from cheating, which it seems that all 5 people in the first 5 weeks of fantasy had cheated until last week.
That happens.
Yeah, last week I learned how to code. I won by 1 whole point. That was Red Seat Radio. We'll have him on soon enough. But first of all, I want to say fuck yourself for cheating respectfully. And I would love to hear about your draft philosophy. We had a whole, for anyone that hasn't watched the full draft episode, we had a whole front, back of house baseball team drafting for Senor Bagdad in Section 10.
Needed all the help you can get.
You guys had multiple heads on this game. I would love to hear why you guys put your team together in the way that you did.
Yeah, honestly, I've never been in a league with that many teams. So it was just like best available. And I just remember Ronald Acuna, he kind of slipped preseason just in the rankings. I was like, all right, healthy season of Acuna. Let's get him in the first round. Unfortunately, it has not lived up to expectations. But it was really just kind of getting the bat and getting the pitcher right off the bat, 1 and 2. We got Yamamoto in the second, who's been pretty good, but yeah, Acuna, not doing so great so far. Yeah,
that hurts.
That definitely hurts. He's on the IL currently, so yeah, we're in trouble there with the first round pick, and then a couple of rounds later, you got Rafael Devers, which we thought we really hit the there, and that has just not lived up to expectations as well. So it's been rough. It's been rough so far, but we were able to kind of grind out a couple of wins. So super lucky so far.
Yeah, nice to pull a few of those out. I mean, as a fan of the Red Sox, like fantasy aside, like watching what's happened to Rafael Devers, I don't know if it's relieving or heartbreaking, but I think I'm heartbroken. Yeah. That's tough, dude. Like, anyway, that's its own podcast, like all by itself. That's its full episode.
As the owner of him in fantasy, dude, super depressing.
You're like, who's trading Jordan Hicks right now? Where's David Sandlin? Let me take him.
Yeah, where they at? They're probably on a team because there's so many teams and there's no one really to add. So yeah, Jordan Hicks is probably rostered. Right?
Good question. Jordan Hicks is not rostered, and that's mainly because he sucks ass.
Yeah. Is he on the White Sox? I forget what team he's on.
Yeah, White Sox for Sandlin with Sandlin, and what they send back like $8 million,
something like that. Anything.
Yeah, you're literally right. The bag of potato chips, and it's like, all right, yeah, I'll take that. I love potato chips, dude.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
If I'm going through your first 5 draft persons, frankly, I mean, I could go through your first 10. You seem to have what would have been an all-star crew. Obviously, Acuna was first, Yamamoto was your second, Machado was your third, Devers was your fourth, and Bichette was your fifth.
Yes,
those are all guys with names getting paid big money contracts.
Household names.
Yeah, you would see him on the red carpet.
Yes.
I would see him on the red carpet. I would hope. Of those 5, at least, who has worked out for you? You said Acuna's kind of slipped a bit. Devers has kind of slipped a bit. What about Yamamoto, Machado, Bichette? Those guys looking good for you?
Yeah, out of those 5, I would have to say Yamamoto. If you were to just make it one more round, it would this whole season, and the whole reason why we have wins, period, is O'Neal Cruz. He's just one of the best players in fantasy baseball right now, carrying that Pirates lineup. And O'Neal Cruz has saved our team so far. He's the only reason why we have wins.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So your top 5 picks I just mentioned, O'Neal Cruz was your 6th pick. Yes. It's saving your season. Saving it. Saving grace. Hold on. I got to pull up his stats. And God, what I wouldn't give for the Red Sox to be able to acquire him, but that would be awesome. Don't think they're going to do that.
I would love that.
But yeah, the price tag for that would be for O'Neal Cruz. In a perfect world where they trade O'Neal Cruz to us.
I mean, a lot more than the Red Sox would be willing to spend. That's all I know, unfortunately. Yeah. But
you know what? You're right.
You're at like a Bo Bichette too, along with Rafael Devers and Acuna. It hasn't been smooth sailing for us over here.
You also kind of built the anti-Red Sox team. Obviously, you got Devers up there. In later rounds, you pulled out Schlittler, I believe, right? Am I crazy?
I wish. But we did. Yeah, who did we get late? That was I think it was just Machado and Devers back to back was the anti-Red Sox kind of picks we went there. Yeah, we had Teoscar Hernandez, who would love to be on the Red Sox, but yeah.
Quinn Priester's in there too, another anti-Red Sox pick, I guess.
Yep. Ponce has been injured.
It's tough, man. It's really tough. Like, I look at your team and I'm like, a lot of these guys are household names, and it sounds like they haven't been performing, not going to the best of their ability. Somehow you still beat me, but I think that's because Brian Bayo has just been taking absolute dumpers, dude, for weeks on week. Why? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's what, 10-2?
I think so. The last time I looked,
I think that's a comfortable enough lead. I would put Brian Bayo in the game.
You never know.
You never know. For everyone watching this on YouTube, I'm not a head wound victim. I'm coming directly from baseball practice. This is just what I look like when I'm working out. So we're all trying to better ourselves. Senor, were you a baseball player before I get back into your fantasy team and draft building here?
I was a baseball player up until high school. I was playing through JV, and then I didn't make my varsity team, and that kind of wrapped it for the baseball career over here. Just transitioned into being a full-time Red Sox fan after that, honestly.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know. I'd much rather be playing. Much rather.
Yeah, leading a pretty tough life. Well, I think they could use you at, short third. Yeah. There's openings. I think I saw one on Indeed the other day.
They're looking for all the help they can get right now.
Yeah, including Yamamoto and O'Neal Cruz and Rafael. This is a bit. For everyone listening, this is a bit. We're going back to the thing I had said just a few minutes ago. But looking at our matchup for that week, about 2 weeks back at this point, the projected points week 5 was 180 to 263. We ended 115 and 193. So both underperformed a bit as to what was expected. And looking at your team here, it looks like you had some pretty strong performances. You had not a great performance from Colin Rea. Looks like Paul Sewald, whatever.
Sewald. I don't know. I have no idea.
Had a few, gave you a few goose eggs, a few negatives there. But tell us about how your team did that week, who your best players were, who your worst players were.
Yeah, I think one of the few standouts in the early rounds was Manny Machado. He's just been consistent. He hasn't been, lighting it up at the plate, but he's been consistent for me at least. Before Acuna went down, he was able to put up 17 points. And, in this league with these settings and these scoring settings, like, you got to take anything in the teens, anything 10 plus you will take. As well as like Jose Caballero. I think that's how you say Yeah, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, on this Cinco de Mayo, I believe that is how you say his name.
That's his name. That's exactly how you say it. But
yeah,
yeah, he's someone I got off the waiver wire, which I mentioned before. Super hard to find players on the waiver wire in this league. They're usually taken, but I lucked out there. And then on the pitching side of things, gotta show love to Michael King. He balled out. I think he got me 18 that week. And then I'm seeing a lot of minuses. It's always great when you see your pitcher put up a -5, a -10. I'm sure that's happened to everyone in this league so far.
Tell me about it, dude. Like I said, I had Brian Bayo, and I let his leash out a little long because I'm like, no way Bayo keeps underperforming like this. LOL, Bayo kept underperforming like this.
Yep.
Just absolutely blew it. And that week, I think he blew it twice in a row. But then I was like, no worries. Crochet is going to save me.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Hit
rough
brother.
week.
Yep. And I'm seeing, that's tricky. -20 from your starter. Doesn't help. Definitely doesn't help. Definitely kind of offsets the 30 points from Max Fried that week. That's just tricky. You can't be getting -20 from Bayo.
You can't. And obviously, like you said, you had some really great performances from Machado, consistently putting up points. Looks like he gave you 20 that week. And then Casey Mize gave you 19 that week. And then you had Colin Rea posted you a -10. That's tough. Yep. That sucks.
Yep.
You can't have that. And let me tell you, because we're always here for the Not Another Sox podcast team. At least myself, go check out Jack Webster's team. It's doing much better than mine is. But that week posted a -20 from Brian Bayo, like you said, and a -13 from Taylor Rogers, who blew 2 leads in 0.2 innings in that week. You can't have it. You can't.
You just can't. The bright side here is you did mention that you were able to get a win. Was that this past week?
Yeah, last week played Red Seat Radio, squeaked out by 1 point. That was 184 to 183. And I mean, if you start 0-6, that is a hard thing to recover from. 0-5 is still tough too, but I'm hoping if I just put wins away in the win column, we can at least see the postseason for fantasy baseball.
Yeah, and you are not the worst team in the league anymore. It is now Carl Everett's Dinosaurs, 0-6.
Carl Everett's Dinosaurs is 0-6?
Yeah. Yep. Looking at it now. Looking at that now.
Carl Everett, if you and your dinosaurs are listening to this, dude, we're coming for you. What would they? They wouldn't be the White Sox anymore, right? I don't think the White Sox are currently the worst team in baseball, are they?
No, White Sox are kind of making a push this year. They got
kind of cooking. Yeah.
Murakami cooking at the dish, and they're actually not terrible for once. I think it's still the Rockies. I think the Rockies are still like one of the worst teams, along with obviously you had the Red Sox, you have the Giants. But yeah, still the same old Rockies.
Vastly underperforming.
Yes.
Same. Yeah, death, taxes, and the fucking Rockies. Yeah, they're right up.
The Rockies and rock bottom. That's what they do.
Did you just come up with that? Dude, that was pretty good.
I pulled it up somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're plagiarizing it, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I saw a headline.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, if you're that headline, you're listening to us, don't dox us. We don't make a lot of money as podcasters as it is. We want to keep this episode up. Senor Bagdad has a family to feed, and if you take this down, it's your fault. It's your fault for being the way the world is.
Yeah, that's
thank you. I'm glad you agree. So that week, obviously, my highest performer was Max Fried, and I say obviously because he's kind of been on an absolute tear, which you hate to see. If you're a Red Sox fan, but as a manager of him on my fantasy team, very, very happy about it. This week, I'm going to expect Max Fried to continue performing well. Sure. I might even put Max up there as like my highest expected performer this week. 100%, right? Just big fan of what he has been doing, putting the pieces together, being consistent. We knew he was good before he joined the Yankees and he got the bag to play on the team. But
Right.
right now he is filling that number one spot while they wait for Cole to come back. And hopefully, Cole is a glass slipper and not a pumpkin at that point.
Of course.
Looking at your team this week and who you're playing, how do you think you guys are going to be faring? Who do you think is going to be doing well? Who do you think is not going to be doing well?
Yeah. Before I move on to that, I just want to mention that you got Dylan Cease too, who's really good. You got some dogs in that rotation. Dylan Cease, right?
Yeah, is that who? Oh, yeah.
That guy with the mustache.
Yes. Yeah, I do have Dylan Cease, correct.
He's got a mean mustache.
Do you want him? Do you want to figure out a trade live on air?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Hold on. I want Imanaga.
So
I want Shota Imanaga.
Imanaga for Dylan Cease.
You know what? I think I'd do that. Would you do that?
I would do it.
Dude, hell yeah. I'll send a trade. What?
Is this a milestone? Is this a milestone for the podcast? Doing a live trade?
You would be the first guest of our 4 or 5 guests that we've had at this point to do a live trade on the podcast.
Whoa. Let's do it.
Tell him. All right, hold on. I'm using the web-based version.
Hey, Shota, you're getting traded. All right, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. He said okay.
Give him the Moneyball treatment.
Yeah.
You've been traded to the Cubs.
Later. No, I think realistically speaking, though, two strong pitchers. We're just doing a swap. Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, just a 1-for-1 swap. Cease obviously has been a picture of health, and I think Imanaga has been really strong for that team too. Got to shake things up a little bit, and I can't find. Do
you want me to send it?
I mean, if you have it right there, like, why am I?
Sure do. Let me send it.
Okay. I'm glad that you're doing that. This is a note to everyone: don't use the web-based Yahoo Sports Fantasy.
Oh, the worst.
It sucks, dude. Like, I get why they're using an app.
Do you do other sports for fantasy on Yahoo or just baseball?
Just baseball. I'm in the minority when I say I quite like the ESPN app.
Mm-hmm.
It seems relatively easy to me. But I'm not a big fantasy guy. Otherwise, I don't really build out my football or basketball teams. Like, to me, it's baseball or nothing.
I love that.
You mean it?
Future first baseman here.
Would you call me?
Future first baseman.
I wish. And for everyone else, we were talking before coming on the pod. They had me playing at first base tonight, coming from a baseball practice, and I'm just not tall enough to be playing first base. Yeah, I was doing big leaps and bounds. I am a towering 5'4", going all over the place best I could. I'm not a first baseman. Put me in center, put me at second. I'll pitch for you too. I can't play first.
You're quick. You're good for the outfield, I feel like.
That I've gotten that once or twice.
Send that trade if you want to accept that.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Wait a minute. Transaction live on air. Silver City Baghdad sent you a trade proposal. Dude, I'm going to do straight up accept 1-for-1. That player has already played today. Damn it.
Oh, damn it.
You know what?
We wait till tomorrow then?
We wait till tomorrow. So
right.
This is a trade that is pending live on air.
In the queue. It's in the queue, people. Get ready.
In the queue. And actually, you know what? Let's cut that last 30 seconds.
Yep.
Done. Trade completed. We did it. Live on air. First time in Not Another Sox podcast history. Senor Bagdad comes on. 1-for-1 trade. Imanaga for Dylan Cease. You'll love to see it. Pleasure working with you, sir. Pleasure doing business.
As always. I mean, Paston's already tweeted about it. I'm really excited to see what Dylan Cease can do for the squad. And you get Shota Imanaga, who's having a great season. So why not, right?
Why not? Why not? That's what I'm saying. So with your current week, who do you anticipate is going to be your best player and your worst player?
Okay, so I'm gonna wait, hold on. Let me make sure before I say his name. He's not lighting it up so far. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to say Rafi. Rafi's going to be my worst player still. I don't think this is going to be a full season thing for him. I think he will eventually turn it around. I remember last year when it took him a month to get going. Apparently this year it's going to take him 2 months. So I'm going to hold out hope that he will turn it around for our offense, but he will be the worst performing. But best performing, I'm going to say not O'Neal Cruz. He's already carried the load for me. I'm going to call my catcher, Ivan Herrera, who's kind of like, he was a late round grab for me. Oh, 1 sec. Let me see what round I got him in. 11th round. And he's been pretty solid for us. So the catcher from St. Louis, Ivan, thank you.
I think that's a good call. And I mean, 11th round, like you said, there are 16 teams in this league.
It's wild.
You got to strategize. You really, like, after round 10, you really got to, like, pick with chopsticks. I don't know. Think if you're listening to this, think of something really creative. It's hard to pick it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was definitely like strategy wise going in, get a bat and get a starter. And then after that, best available. Yeah, but it's cool. It's been fun. And I love all the banter going on in our group chat on the X.
on the Everything app.
On the Everything app. Yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been fun so far. We're 3-3, I want to say right now. So we're kind of we're in the middle right now. Who knows? Maybe this Dylan Cease trade will send us to the top.
Maybe. And I hope I'm not making a terrible mistake. But I don't know. I like Imanaga's stuff and what he's been doing. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. But group chat's been a ton of fun, right? It's just a bunch of guys being dudes, like ripping each other over their baseball teams. Like we were talking about our IL guys the other day. And for everyone that isn't in our group chat that listens to us, so the rest of you, we were comparing IL spots the other day. And just so everyone knows what Not Another Sox podcast, Ian's IL looks like right now, we have Garrett Cole, Nick Pivetta, and Garrett Crochet on the IL. We have Alejandro Kirk and Mookie Betts on the IL. And then benched, but on the IL, just taking up space on the bench, we have Brendan Donovan, Eugenio Suarez, and until yesterday, Zach McKinstry was on the IL for us as well. Had to make some tough decisions, dropped Hunter Dobbins, dropped what's his name? The closer for Kansas City, Carlos Estevez.
Yep.
Tough go of it over here. But I mean, that's baseball, baby. You know what I mean?
No, it definitely is. And I also wanted to say it's really cool being in this league because I kind of am new to the like Red Sox podcast community. Just because I kind of joined Section 10 a couple of years ago. And this is my first time kind of like meeting everyone else. So it's been really cool too. I mean,
it's been a pleasure to have you, dude. Like you fit right in. Obviously you're a big sports guy. So like, I mean, we might as well have been keeping the seat warm for you,
No, me and Mike, super appreciative, man. And draft night was a blast too. Was it you guys hosted it, right?
Yeah. Hosted the draft night.
I remember that. We were just like, yep, and the pick is Rafael Devers.
Right. And then that was so much fun to film. Like for anyone that goes back and listens to the full like 3 hours of the draft, God bless you.
They will.
People will. And it was so much fun for all of us to be in there, like ripping on each other. And then after like 20 picks, we're all like, oh man, does Ortiz come off the bench? What do you think? Does he come out of retirement for something?
Yeah. The later it went, the more difficult it was. And we were just like, all right, we're going to just keep clapping. We're like, I'm tired, man. We did enough clapping earlier.
Yeah. PC game is on. Yeah.
PC game is on. Yep. Eamon was like, yep, turn it off. We got the PC game.
Was that is it Cooley over there right now as the head coach?
No, not anymore. It is. It's the shark. It's the shark is what they call. I wish I was like a diehard. I'm not nowhere as close. Eamon's, this is Eamon's team, PC, but they just got a new coach, Brian Hodgson, I think is his name. So super excited. It was, you know what? It's a good thing I don't remember the old coach's name. We're thinking about the new coach. We're looking forward. It's the shark, and they're going to get wins for Providence.
The shark. I get all my coaching updates on that team from Matt LeBeau's Twitter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I get them from Matt LeBeau's Twitter. And for people that aren't familiar with our lore, Matt LeBeau used to be a host on the show. Big fan. Ended up having to take a step back, and now he's doing I forget the name of his show. It's like Go Nights or PC Nights or something like that.
Way. Really cool.
Yeah, great guy, great host, super tuned in, and his Twitter is a great follow at Leb Zeppelin's. Free shout out for Matt because he tells me who all the new coaches of the PC team are. So that could be really beneficial for people who like following PC.
Oh yeah, that sounds so familiar. Is it his name's Leb?
Yeah, Matt LeBeau. Leb
Zeppelin. Yeah, I think he does the show with Eamon and Mac. They have their own Providence.
I think that's right.
Basketball show.
Yeah, dude, they should have us on to talk about basketball.
They should. We're crushing it right now.
Yeah, dude.
I know his name was Matt. I just was like Leb. Then you said Leb, and I was like, that sounds familiar.
You're like Leb Zeppelin's Leb or that one. Yeah.
Shout out Divine Providence, the podcast. They crush it there. I mean, they absolutely crush it.
Yeah, good group of guys, great personalities, big sports fans, obviously, but they have gotten enough airtime on my goddamn show. So, LeBeau, pack it in, give us a shout out on Twitter, and if you don't, if you don't, grow up, dude, grow up.
Figure it out.
I think for this week, to wrap ourselves up here, looking at my team, what I would expect is that my worst performer is going to be Dylan Cease. It's going to be the worst performer on my team by 20 miles.
I think so.
I better get rid of him as soon as I can.
Yeah, you should trade him.
Yeah. Trade him for peanuts.
Yeah.
Some bum.
Yeah, some bum.
And then I think I got to go the easy answer for who's going to get me points. It is got to be Max Fried. I think he's going to keep performing, but Wilson Contreras as an offensive bat has been incredible for my team. So I think it's going to be Max Fried, but I'm quite high on what Wilson Contreras is doing for our baseball team.
WC40, man. He is great. I was taking
a crack up at that every time.
40. Shout out Eamon. We have I was looking at the standings and I was looking at I think the only team undefeated, right? Yeah, number 1, hard-hitting Texas Justice. Look at them. Look at them. They got hit with the Scooble injury, so I don't know how that's going to affect them. It's really cool. I'm impressed by teams that just like go undefeated. I'm like, wow, that seems impossible, honestly, especially in a 16-team league.
Don't let that guy fool you. Hard-hitting Texas Justice. That's going to be Matthew Crory over at Pesky Pod, who's kind of doing this in collaboration with NASP Pesky. Last year, I don't know how he does it. Like, he offers phenomenal trades, and then he walks away with gold, and he goes undefeated. So, like, maybe he just knows how to play the cards right for that team. But Matthew Crory, I would think first and foremost is a computer coder for Yahoo. That's what I think he does, dude.
Have you traded with him before?
He threw me a trade the other day for Crochet, who is IL'd right now, IL 15. And I forget the exact 2 players that he had, but they were both pitchers that had been on absolute tears. Like, one of them was like Davion something for the White Sox. I forget his full name. But he's been on a tear for the White Sox. And then he offered me another starting pitcher too. I'll have to go back because he had canceled the trade on me. But 2 starting pitchers who were performing very incredibly well for a guy on my IL. And Garrett Crochet was a Cy Young contender last year. Hopefully again this year, we'll see.
Definitely.
And then he offers me these 2 guys for a great pitcher and then he goes undefeated. I'm like, how are you giving up great players for my IL players and going undefeated? It's because you're cheating. It's because you're cheating. We're all aware of it. And if you win, I'm calling the police.
Have to. Whoever the fantasy baseball police are, call them.
Do you think Mike Emond would fill that role?
Absolutely. Get him in here. He'd take care.
Message. Tell him we need him. Tell him we need an enforcer in the group chat to arrest the coders.
If you need a enforcement, that's Emond. That is Emond for sure. That's what he does for our team. He's the enforcer. Any players acting out of line, he pulls them into his office. He has a chat with them, and then they don't mess up again. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna sit you for today.
Yeah,
and let's hope this doesn't happen again.
Yep. They're like, I'm not playing today. I don't have a game. And we're like, exactly. That is why you were being benched.
Yeah, go take a seat.
Take a seat, buddy.
Just take a seat right over there.
Yeah.
Well, Senor Bagdad, on this very happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Where can people find you? Where can people find your content? Tell us where people can follow you.
Yeah. I mean, I work kind of behind the scenes over at Section 10. I run the Section 10 out of context account on Twitter, Section 10 OOC. That's probably where my best content is. I don't really tweet much from my Bagdad account. I'll tweet like maybe once or twice a week. I'm just not really good at the tweeting thing. I'm just not. The amount of tweets I've like typed out and then I'm like, that's so stupid. I just delete that. So if you want to find me, Section 10 OOC, give it a follow on Twitter and Instagram.
Fantastic. Well, Senor, thank you again for coming on. I'm going to go eat some tacos, maybe take an ice bath for myself. And I'll wish your team the best in the coming couple of weeks. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again out on the field.
Absolutely. And hopefully like you can enjoy your ice bath. Bayo has like a 10-run lead, I think, at this point. So we can kind of relax tonight, enjoy the rest of Cinco de Mayo. But on a serious note, thank you for having me on. It was awesome.
Absolute pleasure. And I love you. No, I love you. Okay, I love you. Bye. No, I love you. Okay.